So currently in 4th position. Sun's come out. It's probably going to be dry soon. So again, everything can happen. It's all about timing the pit stops now. This is an exciting race. Hello and welcome to another brand new video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeroen Mul and I'm a professional racing driver working and racing for Lamborghini, the Italian supercar brand. And I'm doing all sorts of cool stuff with supercars around the world I'm racing. And today I'm getting ready here in my apartment in Amsterdam to go over to Schiphol Airport, fly to Milan and go to Monza for the very first race of this 2019 racing season. So in a previous video, I already explained exactly what my racing season is going to be like. If you want to go see that video, please hit that link here in the top and you go directly to that video and hear all about the details for this racing season. But I'm about to go to Monza for the very first round of the Italian GT Championship. Very excited. Can't wait to get back behind the steering wheel of the Huracan GT3 racing car. It's been way too long, and now for the first time, we're going to be racing with the Huracan GT3 EVO, the evolution, the new generation of the racing car that I helped develop a couple of years ago. And now we're finally going to go back to racing, back to the action. And I'm going to take you with me along for the ride. I'm going to show you everything, what a racing weekend for me looks like. So let's get my stuff, head over to the airport and fly out to Milan. So we made it through customs, walking on Schiphol Airport right now. Quite a familiar airport to me. I think that on a yearly basis I do about 60 to 70 flights, all coming and starting from Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Super easy hub for me to start from, as I almost have direct flights to every destination around the world, so that's very convenient. Now it's just a short flight to Milan, Malpensa this time. Really can't wait to see the car, the new GT3 EVO in the livery. I haven't seen the car in person yet in the final livery, so that's going to be very exciting. So we'll see that tomorrow at the track. We'll have free practice tomorrow as well. Then on Saturday we have qualifying, and on Sunday the 3-hour endurance race. But first, a nice and easy flight, hour and a half I think, and then a relaxing night in the hotel, and then tomorrow it all starts. Good morning, it's day one here. It's Friday morning, practice day here in Monza. I just arrived at the racetrack and here at Lamborghini Squadra Corsa Imperiale racing team. And I'm gonna go and take you on a quick tour of our garage. So behind me you can see our hospitality unit, and here in front of me is our racing trailer. Now this is our racing trailer parked here right behind pit box number 17, which is gonna be our home for the weekend. As you can see, if we come around the garage, we have our tire center here behind with all the tire ovens. Number 19 is the other car, number 63, that's our car. So these ovens are here to preheat our tires. We have mechanics always working on the tires here in this little area, making sure that everything is perfect and lined up. And then if we come into the pit box, we have our little driver's area over here. Nice little lounge for all of the drivers, the 6 drivers that are here this weekend. Places to put our suits, our helmets, some snacks and beverages here, all for us. The radio station, this is where all the radios and walkie-talkies are for all the mechanics and the teams with their gear that they need to wear for the pit stops. Then we have our engineer's office, the place where all the engineers sit and work on their laptops, analyze the data and make sure that the cars are all running perfect and they figure out the best setups. And then when we come through, we come to the car which is looking absolutely stunning. So you can see Alex Grazinetti, my teammate, that's my name, and then Vito Postiglione. Doesn't she look menacing? The new Huracan GT3 EVO with the updated front end, the new splitter, front bumper, coming around the side. Number 63, the number we're going to be running. A great big rear wing, and obviously the iconic screaming 5.2 liter V10 engine, and that big rear end. So this is always a great part of a new racing season, getting new racing gear. So I got some new gloves. These are balaclavas. OMP got me some new racing shoes. Oh, look at those. Just put them on here. The EVO R. These are so comfortable and super convenient with the twist tightening system. So with the easy laces, very comfortable and have a lot of control. So I got another pair of those. And then the new racing suit is coming. Just didn't make it for this race, so that will be their next race. So these Fridays are always about administrative checks, making sure everything is signed on, everything is ready for the official events, the qualifying that starts on Saturday and the race that starts on Sunday. Obviously, we also have free practice this afternoon. We have 90 minutes in which all three drivers can circle through the cars and have some laps on the track and make sure they're all dialed in and that the setup of the car is all perfect. So that's what this day is all about. We're now on our way to the license check, making sure that your racing license for 2019 is verified and that the organization has all the info they need to make sure they're cool and allowed to enter the race on the Sunday. So this is what it's all about, is the official racing license. You need to actually be allowed to enter an international race like this. So they want to see this, make a copy of it, and then they know that you're all licensed, you have the proper medical checks done, and you're all good to go to compete in national or international championships, depending on the grade that you have, and if it's authorized to do international or national championships. So this is what they want to check here. Make sure that everything is signed on, that your name is entered correctly also for the timekeeping. And then all these obligations are done, we're finally good to go and ready to go onto the racetrack. That is that part done, and we just need to pick up a race card, I think, to be allowed to go onto the track, or that the marshals at the track know. Oh, more forms to sign?
Yes. Obviously. We are in Italy, eh? Signing our life away.
So next step of the verification administrative checks are the checks of the racing gear. So we have to bring everything, the helmet, the gloves, the suit, the underwear, the Hans system to the scrutineers to have it checked, make sure that it complies with the current FIA homologation and safety regulations and requirements. And if that's all signed off, then we're finally ready and good to go onto the racetrack. So we finished administration checks, all signed on. I got my bracelet for today's practice and the one for tomorrow. So now it's time to put on my suit, have a check if the seating position in the car is all perfect. We'll probably try some driver changes, as in this endurance race. Obviously we have driver changes during the pit stop, so we need to make sure that all three drivers are completely dialed in. We know exactly what to do because we have to perform that driver change in about 15-20 seconds. So we'll do that, and then little lunch break, and then practice after that in the afternoon. So I don't know how well you can hear me, but I'm now suited up and ready to do some driver change practices with my teammates. We have to do stuff, full tire change, refueling, which is not very short, to be honest. We've been able to do driver changes in 10 to 15 seconds. So now we have all the time basically, but it's always good to go through the motions, make sure that everything is lined up, you know exactly who is doing what, you can get your seatbelt and your sitting position all perfect, so always good to practice that a little bit before the race.
quite a tight space, but once you learn how to fold into the car, then it gets quite easy. Just going through the motions, making sure that the process is all dialed in, everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and then you can easily do it in, what was that, 25 seconds, and that was nice and easy. So I think we're good to go.
So free practice 1 is underway. I'm all ready and suited up. I'm gonna be in the car third. So first up it's Vito, who's in the car now for 30 minutes. Then it's gonna be Alex and then me for the final part of this free practice session here on the Friday. So good to be back on track. Can't wait to get back in the car. Very cool to see all the new brands here, all the new teams, all the lineup, and it's gonna be exciting to see who's gonna be fast. Rolling by. Oh, you just forget throughout the winter how loud these cars are. I have no idea if you can actually hear me. Yeah, it's great to be back. Sounds so amazing. That V10 is just incredible. Vito's going out for a second run right now, and then it's gonna be Alex's turn, and then I'm gonna be all the way at the end. Everything is looking good right now. Pace is okay. We're just making sure that everything works properly. I'm not doing anything crazy now in first pre-practice. This is not where the points are given. This is all about making sure that the car is all perfect and dialed in for the long endurance race we have on Sunday. So we just finished free practice 1. The sun is starting to get out and being very bright, so sorry for squinting. But yes, free practice is done, and that is also it for our driving today. It was a very useful session, 90 minutes. So all 3 drivers could have 30 minutes in the car and get familiar again, get the seating position right, and make sure that the setup is all good. We have another free practice session tomorrow morning of an hour before qualifying starts, which will be in 3 parts, but I will explain that to you later on when we get to qualifying. But for now, it's time to go back into the garage, talk to the data engineers, look over all the data, make sure that we analyze everything properly so we can make the best out of our free practice session tomorrow. And qualifying, obviously, make sure that the driver changes are all dialed in and that we have that on point, and then we get ready and we're starting to get closer to the race day Sunday. Can't wait for the race to start. It's so good to be back. Monza is such an epic track, and the Huracan EVO, or the Huracan GT3 EVO, is such an incredible car. And I hope to be on that legendary podium right there on Sunday afternoon. I've been there a couple of times now. You want to hold that trophy, you want to spray that champagne at the end of the weekend, so that's all what we're going to be aiming on and focusing on this weekend and all throughout the season. The driver's briefing is about to start. Very important. Mandatory as always. Try to understand as much as possible from the Italian.
Campionato italiano GT Endurance 2019. Vi informo, la lingua ufficiale dell'evento è l'italiano, ma naturalmente qualunque domanda.
So driver's briefing also done. These driver's briefings are always a lot of repetition of basically the same thing. Repeat what the flags mean, how the safety car procedure is done at this track, if there's any modifications to the track compared to last year or last time that they might have organized an event here. So yeah, just all sorts of mandatory information that they always need to repeat and give out to the teams before the race starts. So this is all part of the mandatory procedures that we have to go through before an actual race starts. So that's why these Fridays are always quite long, quite tedious, but it's part of the job. And as a final part of the Friday, we have a big photo shoot planned on the start line of the main straight here. It's going to be a photo of the entire field of cars, as this is the first race of the weekend. So everybody is pushing their cars out of the pit lane and then driving them here onto the start-finish straight. So all the cars are lined up on the grid, helmets on the roof. Drivers will line up next to them, and then from the podium up there, they will be taken a picture by the official photographer for the season, and we'll get this epic shot of the lineup of all the cars. This is our number 63 here in pole position. Hopefully it will be the same tomorrow after qualifying. Next to that is the Ferrari 488 GT3, which is driven by Formula 1 legends Jacques Villeneuve, Giancarlo Fisichella and Stefano Gai, another factory driver for Ferrari. Definitely very fast and very cool lineup to be next to and to be competing with. Super cool to have these ex-Formula 1 legends racing in a Ferrari against us. And then we have another Ferrari, we have a BMW, we have a Mercedes, and we have a full lineup of GT3 cars. So I need to line up quickly because we have to go and take a picture. So the official photo of the class of 2019 is done. Car is gonna go back into the garage, and then she's gonna be tucked in for the night, and then she's gonna be ready for qualifying tomorrow. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you for now, for today, but I'll be back tomorrow morning for qualifying. Good morning, it is Saturday morning, which means qualifying day. Now I have come down with a little bit of a cold, as you might hear, so which is not ideal, but other than that I feel great and I can't wait for qualifying to start. But first of all, we have a free practice session. As another garage opens, we have a free practice session coming up, which gives us the opportunity to finalize our setup, make sure that everything is completely dialed in and all focused on qualifying. And then we'll have 3 qualifying sessions. All 3 drivers have to do 1 qualifying session. The sum of our 3 best laps, that will be the final lap time, basically. That will be compared to all the sums of all the rest of the cars in order to determine the starting grid. So all 3 lap times combined, that will determine the starting grid. So a new format for me. I haven't worked in this one before, but I can't wait to start. Let's see where we end up. So that is qualifying done. We finished 3rd overall in the end. Definitely not a bad result. The BMW finished 1st and a Ferrari 2nd, and then we are 3rd with the number 63 Lamborghini. Definitely not a bad result. Good starting position for tomorrow's long 3-hour race. It definitely looks like the BMW and the Ferrari have a speed advantage on the straight, which is definitely something that is very useful here in Monza, as it has such long straights and it's always known as the temple of speed. But anyway, 3rd, not going to complain. Very good starting result for tomorrow's race. Now it's time to be a chill evening, relax, have dinner with my family, and then tomorrow it's race day. It is race day. So as explained, we qualified 3rd yesterday. Definitely a good starting position for a 3-hour endurance race. A lot that can happen. I feel strong about our lineup. We definitely have a very good average speed, which is the most important thing for an endurance race. My apologies, by the way, for my voice. You can hear that the cold or the illness really followed through on me. So I'm not sounding too good, but I'm definitely feeling good. I'm feeling excited. The adrenaline always helps and numbs out these things. And I can't wait to get this race started. It's currently quite damp. It's been raining, as you can see maybe on the windows of the car. It's been raining overnight, and there was some forecast of rain as well today, which we haven't had all weekend. So it will be a new ball game for every one of us, all the teams, because we haven't tested in the rain here now. But as it looks now, there's this little shy bit of sun coming through the clouds. So maybe by the time we get to our race, everything is dried up and we can start the race on slicks. Always so special to realize that this racing track is actually located right in the center of a beautiful park. Such a unique location, and it just adds to the character of the track. So much history here, so many Formula 1 races done here. A special place always to come here, especially representing an Italian brand as well. That always adds to the occasion. So we are on the starting grid now for this 3-hour race. Super exciting. That's that first turn, long way from the starting grid, from the start line and the lights until that first tight chicane. So a lot can happen in that meantime. But this is a 3-hour race, which always means you have to go to the end. As the famous racing saying goes, to finish first you gotta finish. So it's not about winning and getting out first in that first chicane, it's about finishing first at the end of the race. So Alex Rasinetti is our start driver. He's got to make sure that the car enters that first hour of racing in a proper way. Then it's going to be Vito Postriglione, and then I will finish the race for the last hour. Very excited. You can see the full grid of cars behind me, with the BMW on pole position on my right, the Ferrari on P2 on my left, and then we're right behind the BMW over there in P3. As it's actually starting to rain a little bit heavier, I wasn't expecting this. The tarmac is still dry enough to run on slicks, so I expect us to start on slicks. But if it continues raining like this, it's going to be an interesting first part of the race. And I have full confidence in Alex Rasinetti, my teammate who's starting the car, to bring the car in for the first pit stop in a right position. So let's walk a little bit through the grid and see what's what. So here we have the number 15 BMW Italia car on pole position. Then we have the Ferrari with Giancarlo Fisichella, Jacques Villeneuve and Stefano Gai starting from P2. And then right behind that we have our Lamborghini on P3 with Alex behind the steering wheel. Vito giving him some last minute good luck wishes and tips and tricks. We have the Mercedes next to us on P4 with Riccardo Mancini, a guy that used to race with Lamborghini and now is with Mercedes. Another Mercedes on P5, and then our sister car on P6. And the rain is actually getting quite heavy now, so maybe we actually have to go to rain tires when it stays like this, or we have a couple of those guys that gamble on staying on slicks. Only one way to find out. Let's get this race going. So as you can maybe hear in the background, there's a lot of air guns working on the grid as the rain is really starting to pour down now. So everybody is quickly changing their tires from the slicks that we entered the grid on to the wet tires. So this seems to be a wet race to start with. But it's a 3-hour race, so there's a long way to go. A lot of things that can happen. The track can really dry up throughout the race. The weather predictions for the race have been super vague actually, with low percentages of rain but like consistent. So this race can really go anywhere as the Ferrari team is bringing out quickly the wet tires. I hope they can make it in time because the car needs to be on the floor when the 1 minute to go sign is given. As casually, Mr. Horacio Pagani was passing by me. The famous owner and designer of the Pagani super and hypercars. He has a driver, Andrea Palma, who I know very well, official racing driver and test driver for Pagani, who's racing here. So cool to see him here in the grid. Anyway, let's focus on the race. So the race started behind the safety car on wet tires, but now already it's starting to get too dry for those wet tires and we're moving slicks. This is opening the race right up because I think there's 2 Mercedes that actually started on the slick tires, whereas the rest of the fleet started on wets. Ferrari, that was in second, went in first to get it slick, so it's interesting to see what his lap times are going to be. This is what makes racing very interesting. So there's Alice coming in, changing to slick tires. first hour of the race, and what a crazy first hour it has been. It started raining, then it became dry enough for slicks, then it went completely wet again, so we had multiple pit stops already. We've seen multiple punctures now on cars, so probably our car will come in at the end of this lap for the first driver change, so Alex will jump out, Vito will jump in. What an exciting race. We're fifth at the moment, but absolutely anything can happen. Still, Ferrari that was in the lead just had a puncture. Our teammate that was far in the lead had a puncture and then lost his lead, so absolutely madness. Let's see how this race unfolds. There comes Alex. That's the first hour done. Stint of Alex is done. Now it's time for Vito to take it. Let's see where this race takes us. Vito currently in 4th position. The sun's come out. It's probably going to be dry soon, so again, everything can happen. It's all about timing the pit stops now. This is an exciting race. So that is it. That's the race done. Unfortunately, at the end of, or halfway into the second hour, Vito had a puncture as well, which put us all the way at the back of the field. We got knocked a lap down. And then the safety car made us catch up a little bit of the time, but they were still over a lap down. So Vito really did a good job finishing that final part of the first hour, improving a lot. Then it was my turn. He got us back on the lead lap. Then it was my turn to try and fight back as much as possible, but still we were so far back that it was pretty much impossible without a safety car to catch up with the leader. So in the end I managed to keep a good pace, constantly being one of the fastest cars on track, and then finishing 6th in the end. So we could have been podium for sure. We definitely had the pace, but that's racing. You cannot foresee circumstances like this. Punctures are always very annoying, but a part of racing. So anyway, 6th, we got some points. We know we have the pace. Now it's time to relax, recap, try to figure out if there's anything we can improve for next race, and then we'll probably go testing before. And then the next race will be in Vallelunga, the track near Rome. Very beautiful and fast track in Italy as well. So very much looking forward to that. For now, I'm going to say goodbye to you. I hope you enjoyed this tour with me during my first race weekend of the year. I'm definitely going to do more videos on racing. Definitely let me know what else you would like to see of my racing, and let me know those things in the comments down below here. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.